up, guys? JJ here, and I'm in my garage with a pile of aquariums and a pile of lumber. So you know what that means? Hey, we're setting up a new tank today. So I've been stockpiling aquariums, and we got a couple of 40 breeders. I got one used, I got a water test, and we got our old 75 down at the bottom there. But today we're gonna set up this 40, and we gotta build a stand for it. So, gonna be a fun one. But first, let me show you why we have to set up a new 40 this week. Because we've got to make some room. We've got to get some people out of here. People, fish, you know what I mean. So this guy right here in the middle, this German red peacock, is getting to be that age where I think he's ready to prove what he's got. He's kind of becoming the tank boss. A little bit of a bully, but that's okay. And so we want to make a tank for him and the peacock females that are here. For this stand, I built a rectangle frame, just slightly larger than the dimensions of the tank, and then we started adding legs. Now for any of my screws this time around, I decided to pre-drill all the holes, just to make sure we didn't have any splitting when we put the screws in. Repeated the process for all 4 legs. And then flipped it over, used our other frame, and repeated the process again. Then I sized it up on a 2x4 sheet of plywood, measured it so it'd be center, and voila! And there we go, stand's all built. Feeling solid, looking good. Now all we have to do is paint it and get it in the fish room. All right, there we go. Stands all built, painted, looking good. Watch this. Nice and sturdy. I can put a 40 gallon on there. Let's go get it. Whew. That 40 gallon, that's when it starts to get a little heavy. I don't recommend carrying big tanks by yourself, but I do stack tanks in the fish store all the time, and I'm just used to it. So we've got the tank set up, it's looking good on the stand. Everything is level, very important, especially if you're building your stand. Make sure all your stuff is level. So now we got to get some gravel in it, get some water in it, and then we get to scoop some fish. Let's go. All right, let's level that out. Let's see if one bag, I don't know how much that bag weighed, but I think that'll be enough for one tank. Yeah, we're actually chilling. I think that's really good. Okay, tank's filled up. It is pretty murky right now. So we've got to set up our filtration, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. For this tank, we're going to use sponge filters. I don't know how many of you guys use sponge filters. A lot of people aren't familiar because they don't sell them in the big box stores very often. So I'll show you guys how to set those up. The way sponge filters work is it takes an air pump, and the size of the pump affects how much water it filters in an hour. And what you do is you hook the sponge filters up to the pump, and it pumps air through, and that air pushes the water through the sponge, and it starts filtering things. And the good thing about them, for people with a fish room, is it's really affordable. So I only have 2 pumps in this fish room, and I'm filtering a dozen tanks, something like that now, because we can just split them and have it go wherever we want. So I'm going to have this pump use both of these sponge filters. So this already has one end that's a length, and this is an older sponge. Hopefully it's holding some beneficial bacteria to get us started. And all I'm going to do is get a little T-piece here. And then I'll have to cut a piece that goes to this sponge and another piece that goes to this pump. Alright, so I've got one sponge here. That hose is going to this little T connector. And all this stuff is super cheap. It's just like a couple bucks to get airline tubing and connectors. And this T is going out to the other sponge. And this end, whoops, is going out to the air pump. So let's get that in there. Okay, the 40-gallon tank's all cleared up, looking good. All we gotta do is get a little bit of decoration in there and get our fish in there. Now, this is just a breeding tank. This is in a room where nobody sees. We don't have to go crazy with the decoration. I just need like a couple places for the fish to hide if they need to feel comfortable. So one of the things I use a lot is these terracotta pots because they're cheap and they make great caves. And another thing I use a lot are these coconut caves. And actually, if you want a coconut cave for your fish to hide in, you can get it at jjgills.com. Alright, link in description below. Oh, and I almost forgot. Got to have, I haven't used this in a while, so this is going to be the secret ingredient. My little Dora decoration for my first ever little 10-gallon tank. We're going to put that in there too, just for funsies. Okay, this tank's looking good. I just fed, so it's a little dusty, but that's all right. We've got to get these female peacock cichlids out of here. So, her, and there's two more in here. But we're going to get them out and put them in the 40 breeder. And then my German red male here. Once the females get comfortable, I'll move him over too, and then we'll see what happens. All right, our females are in. We're gonna let them get comfortable. We're gonna start giving them a good diet, getting them well fed. So stay tuned for part 2 because I definitely am gonna follow up and let you guys know if we have any breeding activity in here. I will be really excited to have a new batch of peacock cichlids. So thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content because we definitely have an update on this one coming, but I'm always doing all kinds of stuff here in the fish room. So thanks so much for watching. See you guys next time.